Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Houston. Justin Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield. Not
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st down, Mahomes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Mahomes going to get this one to Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Texans' 45-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Mahomes. And he completes it to Cohen. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 38, Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The point after is good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Out of the gun, Watson. Flushed out right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second down 6 at the 46-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
65. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Yellow. Check.
Mahomes going to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On play action, it's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Fight on these two. That's a line.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
These two teams all tied after one. 2nd quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Mahomes to throw. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. 16 yards, a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's Watson, option left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a game that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Tackle made that time by Christian Sam.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd down, it's Jackson. And he'll take this close to a 1st down at the Chiefs' 41.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson dancing to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. But these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Chiefs on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, 4 down.
Hey, 57 colors, 57 colors.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Hey, Ripley.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Defense wins championship.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Colin Saunders able to get him for a loss of about 3.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
55, Mike, 55.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Gets this one to Hill. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme. Get a look.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Watson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On first down, it's Watson trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 19-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They run. This is Cohen. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. P.J. Hall there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Hey, guys, I got you.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Stop right here. Stop on the right. Hey, we are.
Yellow.
Four down. Check.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Flush to his right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Texans send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
All day, defense, all day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mahomes firing complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Now here's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off Byron Jones. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
34's the Mike, 34's the Mike. He's coming. Check in, check in. Hey, let's go, let's go. Mike 34. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Watch the run. 26. Let's go, hey.
From the gun, here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Here's Hill on the return. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it's Chiefs football, first and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Texans 10.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. 27 yards there, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This is Cohen. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They go play fake. Mahomes. Buying time to his left. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Yellow. All right, go, Lou, lady.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And his throw here is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Attack!
Mike 51, Mike 51. Rabbit. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
For the field goal, a 31-yard attempt.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So While it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score, Chiefs 31, Texans 10. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. He'll buy some time right. That's going to be caught. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Yellow. 15.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
38, Texans 10. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And now off to the races down the right inside. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Kill! Hey, 59! Let's go!
From the 41, Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They run again with Jackson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Watson. It's Waring the tight end with it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, Watson. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where play. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will get them one closer. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. Flushed out right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Hey, 57, 57. Go. Let's go.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll let this go for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward. And this is caught at the 20. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chiefs, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.